In this lesson, we will go over how you can use color whether you are designing for digital media or for print media. Though they are pretty similar, they do have some differences that I would like to show you. First, let's take a look at using color in a digital medium. As you know by now, color is created on a computer by showing different amounts of red, green, and blue lights that trick your mind into seeing all of the available colors. These lights combine together and are referred to as pixels. We can label the resolution of a screen or monitor by its pixel dimensions. So for instance, imagine you had a very small device of only 10 pixels wide and 10 pixels tall. We would call the pixel dimensions 10 by 10, and there would be a total of 100 pixels. On a small device, this would look great, but on a larger device, you start seeing pixelation occur. So to have a smoother looking image at the same size, we need to increase the pixel count. If we have a 100 by 100 pixel image, it becomes smoother at the same size. And 1000 by 1000 even looks smoother still. Most high definition devices like computer monitors and televisions nowadays are starting to be rated at 1920 by 1080 pixels. This means there are 1920 pixels horizontally, 1080 pixels vertically, and a total of 2,073,600 pixels. That gives a lot of pixel definition to our image and a much smoother look. It also creates a bigger file size, so it's important to know that the more pixels you begin adding, the more space it will take up on your computer. We are starting to venture into 2K and 4K resolutions, where the pixel dimensions are 2,000 and 4,000 pixels across respectively. Though it's great to work with such high detail, it also makes for a larger file size. If you're working on, say, web design, large file size are usually not your friend. While the resolution tells us the pixel dimensions of an image, we can also know the pixel density in what we call PPI, or pixels per inch. You also might hear of pixels per centimeter if you are working in metric. This is the number used to say how densely compacted the pixels are to a certain size, like inches. Remember our 10 by 10 example? If that image was 1 inch in both directions, we would say it has a 10 ppi density. If that image was 2 inches, then it would have a 5 ppi density. The more pixels per inch you have for your image, the smoother the image will look because of the density of the pixels. 1920 by 1080 looks great on a smartphone because the pixels are tightly compacted into a smaller space and gives a higher resolution looking image. Whereas 1920 by 1080 can begin to look pixelated on a larger screen, and a higher resolution needs to be used. As you begin working with color, you will want to keep this information in mind because the amount of pixels will determine the amount of available colors you can use. If you are working on a smaller resolution, you have a limit of the color choices available to you. As the resolution increases, you can blend a multitude of colors to get the image. This is also exactly how print media works, only it's generally called DPI, or dots per inch. That means how many dots of pigment will be laid down per inch for your image. Typically, you will want to have a very smooth image for print, and file size isn't such a big factor. In that case, you will use a higher resolution, like 300 dots per inch or more. That guarantees that you have a lot of pixels per inch of your design and get the best quality image possible. On the other hand, you generally want the lowest file size available without sacrificing quality when you do web design work. That is because websites have to process the information, and the lower the file size, the faster the website can load. The typical image resolution for web design work is 72 dots per inch or pixels per inch, though that number can be changed to suit your needs. The final property you will want to look at is bit depth. Bit depth refers to the amount of colors that can be stored in any given image. In an image, 1 bit means that you will only receive 2 colors, black and white. 2 bits gives you 4 colors. 3 bits gives you 8 colors. 4 bits gives you 16 colors, and on up. Typically, you will use 8, 16, or 32-bit depths. 8-bit depth is 256 colors and good for web design work. 16-bit depth is 65,536 colors and great for print work. 32-bit depth is 16,777,215 colors and would be great for big prints, though these file sizes can get really big. Keep in mind that each bit depth is for each channel. So with a bit depth of 8, there's 256 colors for gray, 256 for red, 256 for green, and 256 for blue. This gives over 16 million possible color values and more than enough for most images.